I look back and I can see myself sitting at a desk and kind of like in a blank stare and not understanding why I can't find prospects. And granted, let's go back many years before we had what we have at our fingertips today, and we were stuck with, using magazines or being out somewhere and you wrote down a company name you saw. If you were in a doctor's office and the magazine was there, you'd rip out the little piece and hide it in your pocket and make sure nobody saw. Or if somebody heard the little rip, you were like, wasn't me. Constantly you'd be sitting somewhere and there'd be, magazines with torn out pieces. So let's fast forward to today. And lead generation is so much far advanced, obviously, and so many tools, so many cool tools are out there. So I also find, as I'm speaking with the salespeople, sometimes they don't understand lead generation or prospecting, and they don't understand how to dive into it and pick out your perfect customer. And in that, your perfect customer along with your perfect contact within that customer. So customer being maybe a company, an industry, and also finding the perfect contact within that. So I've developed this little ebook that kind of dives a little bit into lead generation, prospecting, and understanding your ICP. And that, let's go right into it and let's talk about it. There's 8 parts here, going deep into it, and I don't want to go 1 by 8 right now because it'll just kind of mumbo jumbo, and I think it's always better to be talking about what you're looking at exactly. So starting out here is introduction and understanding the value of lead generation. You have to have a flow of leads, and you have to have a flow of prospects, whether they be inbound or outbound. Without that, your company's going to starve. You're going to starve. You're not going to make money. And if you're the company owner, you're stressed out because there's no sales. And if you're a salesperson, you're stressed out because you're not getting anywhere with whatever it is that you're doing right now that's not generating the proper responses to the leads you're going after. So in this book, I'm going to help you identify the proper prospects, the proper company that would fit your target, your ICP, and understand how to go outside of what you think your ICP is. So there's always a lot of tentacles in that. And we can always kind of find different avenues for business to go after and different kind of verticals that would complement what you think you're going after. And verticals that a lot of times when I bring this up and I kind of brainstorm with people, they go, wow, I didn't even think about that. That's like a whole new level of leads. So it's really good to understand a broader market, a broader demand. So moving on, and I got to get to that little arrow in the bottom. The foundation of leads. Obviously, what is a lead? So you've got 2 types. You've got outbound and inbound. And outbound is completely cold. It's you prospecting and calling on your prospects. Probably never heard of your company, your product, your service. And it's completely cold. So you have to do a lot of investigating and understanding with that lead. If what you're offering is going to solve a problem that they're facing. That's obviously the most important thing in outbound leads. Inbound leads, they've found you somehow, whether it be through social media, maybe you've got a sales funnel developed and they've gone into your funnel and you've gotten the lead data coming into you. These are companies or people that have found you, your product, your company, your service, and they are intrigued and want to find more information. So obviously a lot easier, but in that you also have to be able to set up, your marketing so that you can capture those inbound leads as well. So that's a whole nother can of worms to open up. In that, the outbound leads, I just said, it's what I kind of went ahead of myself and talked to this slide, but inbound, outbound, how to convert those 2 leads into warm leads on the outbound, inbound to convert that into a customer because they've already reached out. So definitely requires a well thought out strategy on both. Here's the information on defining your ICP, your ideal customer profile. So if I find a lot of times when I am talking with other salespeople, I've uncovered a lot of times where they don't understand their ICP and they're reaching out and they're not understanding why they're not getting anywhere. It's because they're reaching out to the wrong prospects. So that's really important to dive into it and, you know, make yourself a bubble map of your ideal customer profile. And in that, it will help you brainstorm and understand, you know, the target industries. You want to obviously determine the ideal company size, and then, as I said, pinpointing the decision makers within those companies to be able to get your product or service in front of and offer it to the right person. The worst thing you can do is keep on reaching out to somebody who has nothing to do with whatever it is that you're offering, because they may take your call and just kind of, blow you off and make you think that they were listening and make you think that, if I'm interested, I'll reach back out. Could have been the wrong person all along. There's also a lot of times I find where there's multiple people to talk to. So if you're not getting somewhere with somebody, there's also ways to figure out where you might be able to find somebody else within the company that would be interested. So a lot of creativity, a lot of thinking into this, and again, thinking outside of the box. So these are just kind of 3 of the main things to think about, but there's so much more into your ideal customer profile. You know, if you sign up, I'm sure I'll end up sending it out, but I do have a worksheet for you to use and kind of figure out your ICP for your industry based on the questions that are in the worksheet. Helps a lot to look at it in the bigger picture. Once you've created your ICP and you know you're going after them, you want to create your targeted lead list. You know, you can use tons of tools, LinkedIn, Sales Navigator on top of LinkedIn, databases that you might find. There's a whole lot of specialized lead generation software that you can use. In my entire process of what I'm teaching, I will definitely get into all the tools that I use and I like the best. There's a lot of them out there, and I've tried a lot of them, so there's a lot of good ones, and what I might be using somebody else might not like, but I'm going to talk about more of the ones that I use that I like, so you don't have to. There's nothing worse than you looking at all these tools and feeling overwhelmed about which one to subscribe to, and then finding out maybe it doesn't give you all the, tools in it, or the output that you were hoping it would give. So in that, definitely subscribe to the email newsletter and also our Facebook group. You're going to get a lot of free information there. So in that, my dog just walked in. In that, a lot of information, like I said, that I'll be giving in that. So it's really important to kind of explore and understand the tools that are out there and exploit those tools to your benefit. In it, I would add automation is such a cool tool too. So setting up automation so that as you're targeting these lists and targeting the people on your list, that, I have it set up for myself that I just hit a button and it basically takes the data, puts it into my CRM, also sends out an email and creates a sequence of 5 emails total. So that's your perfect scenario. How cool is that to be on LinkedIn and hit a button on that person's profile, and that button triggers this whole automation. Boom, 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 boom. And your emails are going. There's also ways to set it up with, if you have your lead list put into an Excel file, we can totally set that up. Just upload the Excel file and it goes into an automation sequence of sending out your emails. Gone are the days that you have to send one email at a time. And you also don't want to do that because of all the new rules out there. You don't want your domain to get blocked and listed and tagged as a spam, because then your emails won't end up in people's inboxes, and it's all for nothing because it's in their spam box. And I don't know about you, but I may check my junk folder every once in a while, but most of the time I just delete it all, and I'll scan it to make sure that it's nothing that I'm really interested in, and then just delete them. I don't even read the emails, to be honest. Just I scan it to make sure who it's from. If it's somebody that I was expecting an email from or somebody I know, obviously I'm going to read it. If it's just a bunch of spam, it's going in the trash. So you don't want to get into that. And there's a lot of email tools out there that are all built to help you from letting that happen. And once you're targeted in the DMARC to be listed as spam, I don't believe it's super easy to get out of there, or if you can get out of there. So important to stay within the rules and stay within the guidelines of what's required on your email marketing so you don't get there. If you don't know those rules, obviously, sign up for our newsletter, join my Facebook group, pay attention to my YouTube channel, because I'll definitely be going deeper into that as well. So, going on, segmenting and refining your ICP. It should never stay the same. Your business doesn't stay the same. So you always want to take a look at what you're reaching out to, how you're reaching out, just refining the whole process. And I promise you, as you keep doing that, it's going to get better and better and better. So there's no such thing in business that you've one and done. We always want to refine it. We always want to build on it. And make sure that we're creating success. And if you're not getting success, especially at the end of that, then you need to look at it again. It's all trial and error. So that being said, I spoke a little bit earlier about this. I got ahead of myself. The tools and techniques for successful, prospecting. There's so much to do out there, and so much opportunity to be able to prospect and find those perfect contacts. So getting to know those tools, understanding the automation, understanding how to use them, and not being overwhelmed by looking at thousands of tools that are out there and wondering which one should I pick. I know so many people get kind of, they kind of get stuck and paralyzed because they're afraid to subscribe to something or use something because they think there might be something better. So again, join my email newsletter, my Facebook group, and maybe even sign up for some of our master classes, because we're going to take that away. You're not going to have to worry about that, because I'm going to introduce and demo and really help people understand the process of the tools that I use, and in that talk about why I like these tools, and why I think they're better than other tools that are out there. But again, there's a lot of tools out there, so I'm not saying the ones that I use are the end all. In it, I'll also be opening it up to other people, my students or my audience, sending in the tools that they're interested in, and I'd be more than happy to kind of almost do like a breakdown of it, maybe take a free trial and do a class on it and see what I like, what I don't like, and talk about that. So, and that would be on anything. It wouldn't be just on, prospecting tools. It could be on your CRM, different things to monitor social media, everything. Again, this is what I spoke to earlier. It's always a ongoing process. You never one and done. It's like laundry. Everybody says, "Oh, I'm done with my laundry," and I go, "Oh, well, it's going to start again tomorrow," because laundry's a never-ending cycle. So assume that your lead generation is a never-ending cycle. It's going to be an ongoing process, and you don't want to end. Why not constantly look for new business? Obviously, you want to, once you start getting onto, certain companies and you want to kind of focus and target in on these companies, that's great. But don't just drop lead generation completely. You want to be able to manage doing that, and then also keep up with lead generation. Maybe not to the level you were prior to having, prospects that you're working with, but never, never, never let it drop. Always keep it going. There's always opportunity out there. You're one call away from the next big deal. Bottom line, you just don't know who's on the next call, and you got to go with that. You got to keep going, keep digging. If you're overwhelmed with all of this that we went over just now, please schedule a discovery call with us. You'll have it directly with myself. I'm not a salesy person. I'm a salesperson. I love sales, but I'm also not somebody that's going to try and push something that I don't think is right for you. And if it's never a push, it's a, hey, this is what we offer, this is what we can do. And if you're interested, we'll move forward, and if you're not, that's okay too. And you'll still get all my free content. So don't be afraid to schedule the call. I'm thrilled to get on the phone with everybody. I love talking about sales, anything sales from A to Z. So schedule the call, join my Facebook group, follow my YouTube channel, subscribe to our email newsletter, and reach out. Let's connect and talk. I'm thrilled to help people. I've had a long career, and I've found my success over and over again. I've also found some failures. So as I've said in some of my other videos, failures are not necessarily bad. It's a learning experience. So let me give you my 36 years of what I did right, what I did wrong, what I figured out, what I still might be figuring out, because I don't think anybody's ever done learning. Take that attitude of there's always something to learn and always something to improve. That being said, ladies, I really invite you to reach out and, again, subscribe to YouTube, subscribe to our email, join our Facebook, and let's connect and let's sell something. Remember, you're just one phone call away from the next big deal, I promise you. So I look forward to talking with y'all. Thanks, and I'll catch you on the next video.